Light FM, Eye of the Tiger, and Survivor, and Morning Dave here with the Eye of a Financier.
Advisory services offered through Second Half Financial Partners, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments are appropriate for you, please consult with a financial advisor. Second Half Financial Partners, LLC does not provide tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax or legal advisor regarding your particular situation.
I said I got the eye of a financier, nowhere near the wallet, which is why we go to check in with the expert to find out what's going on Wall Street. Philip Statler from Statler Financial Services is online with us again this morning. Philip, party day again yesterday on Wall Street, right?
It was a nice day. You know, you love it when you see a lot of green, and it doesn't have to be big green either, Dave. It just needs to be green, which we got mostly yesterday.
Yeah, we did, as a matter of fact. We set some new records. The Dow was off, and we were kind of noodling through what it might have cost that. But always remember, that's a price-weighted index, so one or two stocks having a bad day could knock the Dow down. They were down 72 points. However, new closing record for the Standard & Poor's 500 up to 7,023, up 55 points, and a new closing record for the NASDAQ. It's not a total new record. It's about 10 points short of the all-time record for NASDAQ, but a closing record up 1.59%, up 377 points, and the Russell 2000 is now only about 10 points away from its all-time record as well. It was up 0.3% yesterday as well. Boy, you can't tell there's a war on. There's no reason to be nervous. Everybody's buying everything that isn't nailed down, right?
Exactly. Who would have thought that 4 weeks ago, when all this started happening in Iran, that we would be at this point setting new record highs?
And the standard seems to be, you know, when oil goes down or stays under 100, we're relatively happy. It doesn't take much to make these investors happy these days. And boy, they were trading up pretty much across the board yesterday. It's again, you and I have been scratching our heads and saying, wait a minute here. Things are okay, but they're nowhere near as good as record highs on all the major indexes would imply, were they?
No, definitely not. I'm so, you know, I guess maybe earnings are driving a little bit, but I mean, we're just at the tip of earnings season, so not sure why that would be pushing things higher either. And, you know, the economic numbers we're getting, they're not great as well. So, you know, it's like, okay, where are we at? I'm looking at yesterday's home builder confidence index down from its March number of 38 down to 34. So we're seeing, you know, home builder confidence still falling a little bit. So, you know, it's maybe it's a trader's market. You know, they're trading on the news and they're driving it up. But there's, you know, from an economic standpoint, you know, it's hard to find.
Yeah, I mean, well, like the home builder index confidence, yeah, it was down, not precipitously, but down. Everything is pretty much as is on the morning data dump out of the government. The first-time unemployment claims, exactly the same as it was last week. In fact, 207,000 first-time jobless claims. Again, the no hire, no fire market seems to be holding on. Continuing claims, 1.82 million continuing jobless claims, which is just a tinge up from what it was last week, but still within the margin of error. I mean, it was a miss that wasn't even worth noting by comparison. We got the inflation reports in at the beginning of the week from the Producer Price Index, not as good as expected, and not as bad as expected, but still not good. And basically, what we got a kiss in your sister economy right now. It's not terrible, but it doesn't appear to be making the progress we want either.
It doesn't, but yet we're setting record highs. You got to wonder.
It's a head scratcher to say the least. Just to add in, another minor report came out, the Philly Fed Business Index. Again, the same. It's not great, but it's better than expected and an increase over last month. So again, we're sitting there saying, okay, we got an economy that's holding its own, but definitely not going into overdrive as far as growth is concerned. And that's pretty much close to it, I think, as far as the macroeconomic news. And my Friday report shows no great economic reports due out. So
nothing but Fed speakers on Friday. That's all you got. Fed presidents speaking all over the place.
Which can very well flush the market or make the market go crazy depending upon what they say, right?
Exactly. So let's look ahead though, Dave. Next week, we do get on Tuesday, retail sales comes out. That could, that'll be telling for the month of March.
That'll be a bellwether given how consumer driven our economy is.
So that'll be interesting to see. And they, I don't even have an expectation yet of what that number is going to look like, but hopefully we will see those numbers do well, and that will then give us some reason to put some faith in what's happening in the economy and the markets.
And we need some sort of an indication that gives us a better fleshed out picture. If I remember correctly, the last retail sales report we had actually showed a decline in consumer spending on retail, which gives us a little bit of a case of nerves in the process. Tidbits out there. Live Nation got sued. Live Nation lost. The big concert promoting company that also owns Ticketmaster. They're found to be a monopoly, and one of my tip sheets suggested the average settlement, if they end up having to pay it out to those of us that have bought tickets, a rock-crushing $1.72. Now, the formal remedy that the judge is going to order hasn't come out yet. And you and I were kind of talking beforehand that breaking up Ticketmaster and Live Nation so that the same people that promote it don't sell the tickets as well doesn't sound like a bad idea on its face, does it?
No, it doesn't. Let's face it, the service charges that those type of companies continue to charge are just outrageous.
And it's like I said, basically every concert we're seeing is run by Live Nation, which means you have to buy your tickets through Ticketmaster. It's hard to not call that at least an approximation of a monopoly. Other tidbits out there. Robinhood had a really good day yesterday after the SEC, you mentioned, removed the limit on how much day trading you can do. Robinhood's kind of the headquarters for day traders these days. Evidently, that was a pretty good decision from Robinhood's perspective, wasn't it?
It was a good decision for them. It definitely benefits them. It's, Robinhood's made it easy for the little guy to trade. And so I think that being able to trade more or more often or that type of thing has benefited them. I know that I've known some folks that were trying to buy and sell and they would get shut down on Robinhood. And I guess it was because SEC only allowed so much of that. And so this kind of lifts that quota, and now they can freely trade when they want to.
It could move Robinhood kind of into the big leagues, too, if there isn't a limit as to how much they can trade. All of a sudden, there might be some big money go in that direction, wouldn't you think?
Well, yeah, it depends. I mean, a lot of the big money uses, more of the platforms that offer some more sophisticated options trading and those type of things as well. Your Schwabs, your E-Trade type of accounts, those guys tend to draw the day traders more than things like Robinhood. Robinhood's really, their niche is really kind of the smaller guy investor.
Yeah, it's one of the things I've never really used the discount brokerage service as much, but I know on balance it's the growth end of the stock trading industry right now, isn't it?
It is, because everybody else has kind of made their path, and so these guys are the littler guys are able now to come up with some disruption strategies to help disrupt what's happening, and then thus gather new clients.
Looking at you, GameStop. The poster child from Robinhood. The only other tidbit I've got this morning, and this is something that'll make all of my senior friends unhappy, they're now projecting the Social Security cost of living increase for 2027, expecting it to be flat. That's going to make a few of us gray hairs unhappy, won't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, how do you figure we had no inflation?
It kind of makes you sit up and say, what the heck? Other tidbits, and I know we got a couple of big reports to come out from earnings season that starts broaching the walls. How did Pepsi do this time around?
So Pepsi had a good quarter, Dave. They really did. They came in $1.61 a share versus $1.55. Revenue is about $500 million more than expected. I found this interesting. I don't know about you, but I've just gotten to the point where when you buy a bag of chips for $6 or $7, just makes it hard to buy potato chips, right? But so what they've done is they actually reduced some of their pricing when it comes to their Lay's division, snack food type stuff. So that helped spur some revenue, which obviously helped the bottom line as well. No big strides today, but Coke is up a little over 0.1% this morning.
Well, it's a beginning. Yeah, I haven't bought a brand of chips for my grocery shopping now in probably 2 years. The price of name brand munchies has really gone through the roof, hasn't it?
It has. It's expensive to snack, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So a couple of
What
other
else is
names
new?
we've got. Charles Schwab reported they fell short on revenue. But their earnings topped expectations because it's a split ticket for them. So they're trading down almost 0.8% this morning. I got another U.S. Bank Corp. They reported they beat on their earnings reports. However, they had a little fly in the ointment. Their interest income, what they call their net interest income and net interest margin, fell short of expectations, and that drove them down a little over 1%. And then the last one, which this one kind of is an indication of the economy, because JB Hunt Transportation Services, that's the truckers trucking from one side of the country to the other. Important job that we need to continue on.
You could say bellwether business, couldn't you?
Exactly, you really could. They beat on earnings and on revenue, so good for them. They are trading up about 1.25% this morning.
Could indicate good things for the retail sales number next week. If we're hauling stuff, that means somebody's got to buy it if they're hauling it.
That's right.
Putting it all into a big bag this morning. Really, the Dow was the only negative yesterday, and it wasn't by very much. 2 new records in the S&P, NASDAQ, and the Russell were all up 45 minutes before we opened this morning. What are we looking at?
Dave, we've got green ink to start. The Dow looks like it might rebound a little bit today, up about 1/3%. S&P 500 is up a little over 0.1% as well as the NASDAQ 100. The Russell 2000 is taking a little break right now, down about $4. On the other side of the coin, we've got silver down 0.25 point, still just slightly below 80, rather, $79.40 an ounce. Gold is up 1/3. Crude oil up 1% from the close at $92.20 an ounce. Yeah, it feels like it sometimes. I had a barrel.
Yeah.
So
that sounds like about where it was yesterday. So it sounds like that intraday trading cycle goes on, and we're stabilizing at 91 something. That wouldn't be too bad, would it?
No,
for a while.
Yeah,
for a while.
We get to keep going down. As long as the Iranian thing's going on, we say low 90s. I'd be okay.
Try and live with it until we get the whole mess settled up. Looking across the pond, the Asian Rim market, if you want to know how big the 500-pound gorilla that is the United States is, just follow the futures in the day. The Asian Rim trading off of yesterday's, everybody was up, including the mainland Chinese indexes. One of them was up by a rock-crushing 2%. Green ink pretty well across the board. European indexes are a little more circumspect because, well, we've got little gains in the futures, but everybody's green. The average European index up about 1/3% halfway through the European trading day. Getting a beat on retirement takes a pair of eyes that has a longer-term look than we do day by day. How do I find you to get a long-term plan to make my retirement work, Philip?
Dave, they can give us a call at 863-382-0037. Also want to mention this. They can go to our Facebook page at Statler Financial. We're on Facebook. I'd love you to go take a look at that. You can see Josie Joe, our 7-month-old puppy. She's up there actually getting to go to work yesterday for the first time, and she's going back today. We'll see how she survives the day today. And then catch the Statler Financial Radio Show this weekend, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk, 7:30 a.m. and 95.3 FM.
And you got to admit, more people want to see the dog than you anyway
Absolutely.
when they go in the office.
Absolutely. That's the way it is.
Have a good day, my friend. I'll catch you tomorrow. Fair enough?
All right, buddy. Have a great day.
Thank you. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Philip Statler.
Hey, folks, thank you for joining us again. Come check us out on Facebook, Statler Financial. You can see Josie and check out her picture there as she's getting ready to head to work for her second day. I don't know if this will be a regular thing, but glad to have her come in for the day. Y'all have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye now.